It's day 5 of SSSVEDA, or Vlog Video Every Day in August, and today's topic is to talk about the favorite book that you've ever read. That is really hard for me. I actually just stood up and went and looked at all my books here on the bookcase, trying to figure out what in the world book I would say is my absolute favorite. My old answer used to be Wuthering Heights. It was one of the only books I read in high school that I was assigned to read. I love reading. I've always been a reader, but I was always hesitant in high school to read whatever was assigned. I guess some sort of rebellion. But Wuthering Heights was one of my favorites, with the angst, and the love story, and all that. But then as I became a teacher, I began to see books, obviously, in a different light sometimes, because I was helping students to analyze and see the way that the stories were written, see why the authors made certain choices that they made. And then, of course, I've grown up, so my worldview is a lot broader than it used to be. Most recently, this world lost a phenomenal author, person, and influence in Elie Wiesel. Elie Wiesel wrote the book Night. It's a book that I have read with my students multiple times. It's a first-hand account of the Holocaust. Elie Wiesel and his family were taken out of their home, and he and his father were separated from his mother and sisters, and he and his father were put into a concentration camp. It's the story of Elie kind of coming to an understanding of who he was as a person and his faith, and he questioned that a lot, especially considering what was going on in his world at the time. There's not much talk of Hitler per se, but there's plenty of in-the-moment discussion of what it was like to live in a concentration camp. There are certain pieces of this story that stick out in my mind all the time. Specifically, Elie and his dad having to march 40 miles in the snow with barely any stops. People being trampled because their stomachs gave out, or they gave out and they fell to the ground, and so they were trampled and thus killed in the snow on that 40-mile trek. Just the horrors of what happened in the camps, seeing it from the inside rather than just some history book telling us what the history book wants us to know. If you have never read Night, it is a very short book, as you can see. It took me maybe a weekend to read it, and I read it with sophomores, so it is an easy read, a quick read. And this is pretty cool because you can see that one of my former students actually gave this copy of the book to me and wrote a little note in here for me. It says, "Thank you for being a great English teacher. This was a great book and one of the very few I read throughout all my education." It's pretty powerful considering teenagers. If they say they read a book and they liked it, and I'm talking like, I don't know that I've ever taught a student that didn't enjoy or appreciate or see the value of this book. So if you've never read Night by Elie Wiesel, I recommend that you go and get it. Please do make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and I would appreciate a comment down below. Tell me what your favorite book is. What's the one book that sticks out to you when you think about books that you've read? Come see me on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest, and I hope you all have a great day.